Hello, my little demons. It's me, Runa. We're back again with exploring the SCP Foundation. SCP-3812, a voice behind me. I'm scared. What does that mean? I don't know anything about this SCP. Man, I'm kind of glad that doesn't tell me much when I look at the name, you know? It's like, I don't know what to expect. Like when I was reading my comments, it's like there's no information besides the name and where to watch the video. So I don't know what to expect. I like the video. It's exploring series. They're goated about this. I really like their videos. And yeah, let's start.
SCP-38.
God, it has normal captions. Thank you. The exploring series.
12. A voice behind me. What is the most powerful SCP?
6, whatever the heck that one is. Right?
Some among you might say the unkillable lizard.
Yeah.
Or the deer.
There's a deer? Imagine a deer being the most powerful SCP. There is no way, right?
Or 343. Or one of the 001s. But the answer, as you might have figured,
I'm really curious about those ones, by the way.
is SCP-3812.
Is this like a fact? Should I take this as like a fact?
In fact, SCP-3812 is likely the most powerful fictional entity ever written.
Okay, but can he be Goku? Okay, I'm sorry. That was so toxic of me as to say. I'm just gonna stop.
And while that might sound like an incredibly lame subject for an SCP on the surface,
what?
The document for 3812 takes us on a very interesting ride.
I'm excited. Yeah.
Unlike entities such as the Scarlet King,
I want to know about the Scarlet King. Also, I'm doing it, guys. I'm learning so much SCPs. I can recognize their names a little bit.
the Deer, or the Broken God, 3812 is not an unfathomably old creature from the center of the universe, or the abyss, or similar beginnings.
Okay.
But instead was just a man.
Huh? Wait, this is cool? It was a man? I didn't even know a man could become an SCP.
3812 was once a man named Sam Howell,
Okay.
raised in Louisiana,
Good
and
old
died
Louisiana.
in 1996.
Okay.
After his death, the entity known as 3812 rose out of his
How?
grave and proceeded to disappear.
Huh? Can I do that? I wish I died and became a powerful SCP.
Unfortunately, that's all we know of its origins.
What?
It's certainly possible that this is...
No, I'm sorry. I don't want to stop a lot, but I'm actually confused. Why that origin? I don't mind it. That's a cool origin. But why? It's very simple. It's very normal. It's very... When I say normal, I don't mean oh, this is very boring. It's not boring. It's just... It's nothing insane and we don't know more, you know? Why that person? Why Louisiana? Of all the places, why Louisiana? What the heck did he do that was so special to become the most powerful entity in the whole entire universe? Why? I want more answers.
Is indeed some ancient entity that was just living in this ordinary man until he died for some reason.
Yeah, what?
But since 3812 only seems to be a very recent problem, it's hard to say. Alternatively, if 3812 didn't really come into existence until his death, we don't know what caused that either. Regardless, 3812 was first discovered by the Foundation 20 years ago, when its presence resulted in the destruction of an apartment building in Poland.
Only an apartment building? That's so weak. Listen, I'm just trying to hype it up, okay?
3812 was originally relatively human in appearance when the
Okay.
Foundation first discovered it.
Kind of cool.
But over time, its appearance has shifted and altered, and is now only vaguely humanoid.
What the heck does vaguely humanoid mean?
3812 suffers from extreme paranoia, depression,
Aw.
mania, inability to properly perceive their surroundings.
Someone help the poor little person out. Someone help it. Why is it depressed? Why can SCPs be depressed? Okay, that's such a weird question to ask. I'm sorry. I'm just curious. What are they? I know what they are, and I know they can be literally anything. That's what makes it so interesting. But, isn't that so interesting? They're just like us. Depressed, curious, has anxiety. What the heck? It's so weird hearing these things.
Inability to discern the difference between the real and imagined. Inability to differentiate between the living and dead.
Yeah, it's like me.
Inability to control expressions of emotion.
Oh my god.
Hallucinations. Hearing voices.
Oh god.
Feeling things that
So
aren't
crazy.
there.
That's crazy.
Etc. In a human, this would be a pretty small problem for a group like the Foundation. But it's complicated by the fact that 3812 is the most powerful reality bender in existence.
Wow.
Originally, 3812 was cooperative with the Foundation and sought their help in managing its
Oh, it was nice, see? Surely nothing bad will happen.
condition. But over time, it has become more withdrawn and erratic.
Why,
38
stop acting out, bro. Help us out. Humans are in a decline, okay? We need you.
12 currently cannot accurately perceive the world around it, and so it will occasionally alter reality to suit its own perceptions.
Oh, well.
This
okay,
makes
a
it
little
both
selfish.
incredibly dangerous and incredibly difficult for the Foundation to determine exactly what 3812
Yeah,
is
that's kinda
changing.
cool.
Because of this, containment of 3812 is impossible, and it seems to subconsciously resist any form of containment attempted on it.
I
3812
know it's supposed to have like a humanoid appearance and it shapeshifts and stuff, but like, what does it look like? Like, am I looking at it right now? Is that it? Is this him? It's thing? They? Is this it? Is this it? Like, what is it? I want to see it.
will simply alter reality to counter
Oh, literally tells me, guys, this is why I'm a bad reactor. It literally tells me right here. Appearing here as a policeman in the right gear, as viewed through the burning cantilever. Okay. The burning cantilever. The right. Okay.
any threat against it, and so current efforts are on mitigating any damage that 3812 causes. As of now, 3812 is currently located above the South Pacific Ocean.
Oh, okay, they just know that.
Back when
I should
3812 was
visit there sometime. That'd be kind of cool.
still cooperating with the Foundation, an interview was conducted between it and a Foundation doctor. It complained about its hallucinations and the voices it was hearing, saying that it was like it was talking to a dozen people at the same time.
Oh.
The doctor reassured 3812 that they are here to help, but 3812 is unsure.
They just seem like a powerful human being. And by powerful, I mean the most powerful. But you know what I mean. Like emotionally. Not like physically, but just emotionally they seem like that. And I feel kind of bad.
Saying that in the story, they don't try to help. The doctor is understandably confused, and frankly, so is 3812. But it says that it can see what the doctor is thinking, and knows he is afraid.
Cool.
It is unsure of how to undo this, if it even can. And then it says that it's not even sure if he can.
Ooh.
The doctor asks, who is he? And 3812 says that although the doctor can't see him, it can. 3812 goes on. I think he was above us at one point,
Who's he?
but he's below me now. Yes, I see you there. I don't know what you did to me, but I'm pretty messed up, man. If you can figure something out here, that would be great, 'cause I really feel like I'm losing it. I'm scared too, man. You've got to do something, man.
If I hear one more thing, if I hear him say man one more time.
You've got to help me out here. Afterwards, 3812 spontaneously disappears.
Okay. That was good talk.
We're then provided a memo that was written by another doctor in 2015 regarding the danger of 3812. She begins by saying that she believes 3812 to be the most dangerous anomaly on Earth and potentially in the universe. She goes on to discuss the Scranton reality anchors, designed to contain reality benders, and the development of Hume levels to assist.
How do you design that? I'm like, okay, guys, I'm going to be the one to I'm going to be the one that is going to design a thing to contain reality benders. Like, what the heck? How do you do that?
In analyzing and studying changes in reality.
Like, how you do that? I'm sorry.
Hume levels, you might recall from SCP-3001,
Ooh,
are the measure of reality levels in an area, with our normal level of reality being the baseline. She then says that the Foundation equipment cannot detect SCP-3812, and not because of machine or user error either. This means one of three things.
Creepy.
One is that 3812 has an extremely low Hume level, beyond what they thought possible. which would mean that reality could eventually sink into this minimal Hume level.
Whoa.
2 is the opposite, that 3812 has an extremely high Hume level, and is therefore above even the God-level reality benders.
What the heck is a God-level reality bender? What does that mean? That's scary. I don't want to know about this anymore. Because if they're above that, what does that make you? Like, you know what I mean? There's still be a name for that, right? Okay, so there's like God level, right? And then there's something above God. What's that called? I mean, it depends for like each different thing, you know? It's not always the same thing. Curious though, is there like a name for that in SCP lore? SCP lore, I don't know what to call it.
Measured
Universe?
by the Foundation. Since a reality bender of this magnitude would likely have already destroyed them, this is probably not the case. The third possibility is really the worst one.
What? This worst
in that
one?
3812 is fundamentally different than every other reality bender known to the Foundation.
That's good.
Dr.
Just what they
Robert
want.
Scranton theorized that just as there are different physical dimensions that humans are unable to access or perceive, so too might there be different dimensions of reality that are above or below us. According to Scranton, these levels of reality would be manipulating something called the narrative, and each narrative would be stacked on top of one another.
What the heck?
If 3812 is some sort of higher level reality bender that can manipulate every aspect of our reality, and also suffers from severe mental disorders,
Why are you guys?
that's
I don't think this is a good combo. You have someone that can manipulate every aspect of reality, but they also have like a mental disorder. So humanity's kind of done for, guys. 07 to everyone there. I am so sorry. You know, that's one thing that I guess that's a good thing that we live in SCP universe, because that basically means everyone is kind of, kind of donezo.
That's a pretty bad problem.
Yeah.
The doctor admits, though, that it's probably better for them if 3812 is insane,
Why?
since it can't comprehend its level of power.
Oh, what happens if it goes like, ballistic though, Like, yeah, it doesn't understand its level of power, but like I said, like, it merely acts on impulse. Like, what happens if the impulse is like too big to even comprehend one day,
It merely acts on impulse, and alterations to reality have so far been strictly local.
True.
If it decided that it didn't like the concept of empathy, for example, it could simply remove it from our reality.
Oh, true. Okay. Well, no, I don't know. True, though.
There is apparently evidence, however, that something similar had
I forgot. Do people who are, like, genuinely insane, they don't have empathy, right? Like a sociopath? Are they a sociopath? I don't think they are.
already happened, as the Foundation have found a few sparse accounts as recently as the 1980s that a concept, perhaps even an emotion, once existed but no longer does. This is a level of power incomparable among SCPs, and the only thing holding it in check is 3812's own mental state.
Okay.
We're then given a page from a full report written by the doctor about SCP-3812. She says that an entity of this magnitude would perceive our reality much like we perceive the reality of a comic book. And just as we can change that story
That's kind of crazy.
based on our whims, so could this entity change ours.
Ugh.
There is a hypothesis that an entity such as this, that is bound to a human level of intelligence,
So they can make me if I ask, this SCP can potentially make me have demon ears, demon horns, and cat ears. And cute little space buns. Honestly, I like this guy. I like them. Maybe they'll do that for me. Surely. Because I'm totally not just a random human that they think of me like an insignificant ant or something,
would suffer from an overexposure of narrative. That is, they would simply be perceiving too much.
Yeah, that seems overwhelming.
When faced with this much perception, they might collapse a number of lower realities into something more simple
that's
in order
interesting.
to ease themselves.
Yeah.
But the damage would be catastrophic.
Rip.
Individuals inside those realities, namely us,
Huh?
would be either utterly destroyed or intertwined with other realities to the point that our consciousnesses would be annihilated.
Ooh.
Let me simplify if that's all a little too much to take in.
I mean, that makes sense. But, like, does this actually take into effect of other SCP stories, guys? I'm a bit curious because, yeah, like them telling me that they're the biggest, that they're the most overpowered, like, SCP, I believe that now. Like, it's not even like the idea of them, like, having, like, this cool power-up or something, or, like, they're like One Punch Man that can just blow anything away. It's this idea that they have control of everything, and I mean everything. If they want to, they can rewrite history. They can rewrite other SCPs, potentially. Like, I can see why they're the most overpowered, like, SCP anomaly. Like, that's insane. That's an insane power to have. Which is kind of weird to even call that a power because it's just so powerful. But yeah, power. Oh, that's crazy though. Yeah. Okay, sure. I can see this as a fact now, that they are factually the most powerful SCP.
Picture a comic book written by a human being in our world, making our existence the baseline reality.
Man, it's like Into the Spider-Verse. Oh my god, if we're gonna get into that.
The universe of that comic book, let's say the Marvel universe for simplicity, is a reality below us.
Yeah.
It's not real to us, and we can change it however we wish. But it's real to the characters within the comic book.
Yeah.
Now picture a television show within the Marvel universe, which is just as non-real to us as the comic book is, and just as subject to our whims as the Marvel universe is. But at that point, it's also not real to the characters within the comic book. Conceivably,
Man, now that's why I call it God. Out of all the things, this sounds like the most godly thing you can have, you know?
Characters in the Marvel universe can change that television show however they wish, and so on, continuing down the line of realities, or narratives.
So they're like the Stan Lee of, like, the universe, basically. They're like actually, no, probably even more, because they can go into different mediums. They can go into different realities, you know? They don't have just one control of, like, one, like, system. That's crazy.
Consider the concept that we are not at the top of the reality chain, and there is in fact a reality, or countless realities, above us. Just as we consider the comic book to be fiction, so too might something else consider our reality to be fiction.
We're just fiction, guys.
This is the danger of 3812, as it seems to be above our level of reality, and who knows how many levels above us it is.
That's creepy. I don't want to be an SCP.
We then see a short list of instances where 3812 altered reality, ranging from small alterations that affected very little, to massive alterations that affect the entire planet.
Honestly, they're not even doing a bad job. Doesn't seem like the whole entire universe is destroyed unless they're doing it on purpose. They're doing something where I'm not sure how the science works, but, like, something where they make we were perceived that everything is just fine, but it's not. And I don't know how that works, but, like, I'm cooking. It's like something in there. I don't know how that works, but, like, I've seen this before. I've seen this before in a TV series, so surely they're doing that.
Some of these events are hard to conclusively prove that they occurred due to lack of evidence. In 1997, 3812 walked across a desert, creating a temporary stretch of temperate climate along with it. In 1999, it's believed that 3812 caused an entire island off the coast of California to disappear.
Oh, that's nice.
More than 200 people have vague recollections of the island, with some unable to justify the disappearances of family members who lived in the area.
See, like, they can't justify it. They can't. Some have vague memories of it. I don't know. Seems interesting. Interesting concept.
In 2000, an SCP that exuded a field similar to a reality anchor was brought near 3812. Rather than containing 3812, it resulted in an explosion that destroyed a hospital. The remnants of the SCP were recontained by the Foundation as SCP-239.
Whoa, Witch Child. That's a cool name.
The Witch Child. In 2004, 3812 caused the country of Mongolia to cease to exist for 3 days.
Oh, okay, well. Sure. Let's just do that.
A significant portion of the local population retained fractured memories of the event, and the Earth's orbit was dramatically affected during the period.
So yeah, they can just do that. They can just erase things and bring it back if they really want to.
Also in 2004, every human on Earth heard 3812 screaming for help in their heads.
Jesus! Like, this is why I'm scared. I would hate to be in this universe, actually. This would suck. Like, imagine they're just having a bad day. Your whole entire day is ruined, you know? Your whole entire life is ruined just because they want to change some things up.
And in 2009, during another containment attempt, dozens of Foundation personnel disappeared across 17 sites.
Yeah, why try?
As well as a significant portion of local wildlife.
See, now you're killing the wildlife. Like, it's all your fault.
The explosion caused by 3812 left a crater roughly 850 meters in diameter, and SCP-3719 was found within, a highly abstract metaphysical anomaly.
Okay.
Additionally, it seems that in the past, multiple governments have discovered 3812 and attempted to terminate it themselves, resulting in their existence being wiped from.
I feel like, when did you learn? Not even learn, but like maybe they just don't understand the concept of how powerful they are, you know? It's always like that. They always think that they can beat something just because they have power and money. But then something bad happens because they don't understand what they're facing.
From the Earth. These governments include the Republic of West Korea, the Islamic Union of Eastern Samothrace, and the Kingdom of Alagada.
Ooh, cool name.
Their removal was followed by activation of SCP-2000, Deus Ex Machina, which 3812 damaged to stop it from working.
Of course it did.
Why 3812 was unable to completely destroy SCP-2000 is unknown.
Do we know later? I want to know. What? See, this is like the process for me that makes it so confusing about how creators write their own SCPs. For example, why didn't they destroy SCP-2000? You know? Like, why did they decide to do that? Like, while they were writing this. I'm just curious. I want to know more.
Moving on, a few years ago, 3812 was moving across Paraguay towards a populated area of Argentina, likely en route to its current location in the South Pacific Ocean. Foundation personnel moved in to intercept 3812 in order to prevent it from wiping out an entire city, but a series of strange events occurred. 3812 is attacked by a large number of local wildlife, which startles 3812.
Okay.
Next, a massive sinkhole appears beneath it.
Oh my god, it's like this one series I'm reading. I'm not going too much in depth into it, but it's like this girl is basically the super powerful god, and she becomes like this really small girl for some reason. I don't remember why, but she goes into land and she has like no power left, and she like imitates them a little bit, but I think they like go in and attack her. So it's funniest thing is like you really got these bunnies and little like, I don't know, animals attacking a god. Like, that's crazy.
Causing it to fall momentarily before it returns to ground level and the sinkhole closes. A large number of tungsten rods fall from the sky directly towards 3812, starting with only a few before suddenly more than 3,000 fall in rapid succession.
Okay.
Each of them disintegrates within a half meter of 3812's body. It seems something is trying to kill 3812.
This is cool! I don't know why I like this stuff. I really do. What's trying to kill it? Who's trying to kill it?
To little effect.
Another SCP?
Next, a number of incorporeal instances of 3812 fall away from it, as if they were dying. But 3812 keeps moving.
You can't kill it though, right? How do you kill it? How do you kill something that can literally control everything? Like, if it wants to, it could just like erase you from existence, you know? If it wants to, it could literally... I'm assuming they can shapeshift into anything that benefits them in some ways, you know? Or, I don't know. They can do anything. It's like they said, they're like an author of like a comic book. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, how are you supposed to do anything against it?
These copies then attempt to attack it to no effect, until 3812 looks at them and they disappear.
Like, can they even die if they choose to? If they do, though, I feel like reality as it is would just not exist. Right? Or at least maybe it'll live on without them, but it just won't be the same. Ah, so interesting. This is such an interesting SCP. Thanks for whoever recommended me this. I really like this one.
This is followed by multiple explosions centered on 3812, again to no effect. Finally, a gravitational anomaly, essentially a black hole, appears in front of 3812, but it simply walks through it, and it dissipates.
What, in the One Punch Man?
Additional anomalous events occur around 3812 for 72 hours, each failing to stop or kill it.
Yeah, this is interesting. I want a series based on this one. I want a series.
Eventually, however, 3812 begins to grow white momentarily before disappearing. SCP-3812 was missing for 8 weeks before it reappeared in the South Pacific Ocean.
Ooh.
Shortly after, a message appears on a Foundation server, accessible only by overseers. The message explains that this world has rules that cannot be broken.
Okay.
Things we study in physics and chemistry.
Okay, I'm hearing that.
These are unchangeable laws of the universe that define our existence.
Sure.
The individual that wrote the note claims that they wrote these laws, and they created this narrative. They specifically attempted to create something that superseded everything, in order to see how many layers there are. The mistake they made was that when they made 3812 to supersede everything, that also included 3812.
Wait, what?
Which creates a pretty big problem.
What the heck?
This individual thinks that 3812 now exists across all realities simultaneously.
Wait, who is this person?
And he'll either reach the top or just keep going.
Ooh, signed B?
The message is signed B.
Whoa, who is this? Now I'm even more curious.
The following addendum is from an essay written by Dr. Robert Scranton, and I'll summarize it quickly.
Thank you.
Basically, Scranton discusses the concept of a god, which would be an entity with complete and utter power without limits,
of course,
able to know and rewrite our narrative at will.
Honestly, that's kind of like my... I don't know. I feel like I always hear about gods and gods and gods and stuff like that, but like this is my favorite definition of a god, you know? Like, I mean, yeah, he's basically explaining it. I was going to explain it, but like they're literally explaining it. Like, this is how I perceive what a god would really be like.
This god would be so separate from our reality that they would treat it like words on a page.
Yeah.
He goes on to discuss the concept of something above that, and above that, and ponders how far it goes.
Exactly. Ah, so interesting. I love it. I love it.
Wondering who the architect of the architecture was.
Yes, like who's controlling, like is there more levels to it then? Is there something that can control that then? If there's laws and, oh, like where did this come from? And it's such an interesting concept.
That established this. This entity,
because it's not like Stan Lee was just born. You know? Like there is rules to like how he's here. Obviously, I'm not sure how that's possible in this situation, you know?
Capable of superseding our reality and any other reality, would theoretically be forced to supersede itself, spiraling ever upwards and unable to escape.
A little too powerful.
Scranton finishes by saying that such an entity would no doubt lose its cognition, being closer to a thrown stone than a sentient creature.
Cruel. Also, once again, the origin. Like, why was that its origin, you know? Literally from a human? Like, that doesn't seem right. Or maybe possessed by him? Like, we don't know. We don't really know, like, the full-on origin. But that's so cool. I love it.
Finally, the last addendum we receive is about an XK-class end-of-the-world event.
What? What's that? Excuse me, can you explain that a little more? I didn't study for my SCP exam, so...
that occurred in December 2016.
Ah, of course.
Due to SCP-3812.
Oh, okay.
At the start of the event, 3812 experienced a dramatic change in appearance, becoming a many-pointed star made of a bright white material.
Is that it? Am I looking at that?
It began to rotate faster and faster, a maelstrom appearing beneath it as it sank into the ocean.
Oh.
The global sea level began to drop dramatically, in many places as much as 50 to 100 meters.
Jesus.
A massive firestorm swept across the atmosphere, The Earth's rotation
All
began
this
to
happened in
slow,
2016?
and electrical storms blanketed the planet.
Of course.
Large portions of the global population began to disappear and reappear at random,
Wow.
such as the entire population of New Zealand
Okay, why New
disappearing
Zealand?
for 5 hours.
That's messed up.
The outbreak of SCP-6
Oh, that looks like that weird thing from the other one. That weird disease. I hate it. I want to look at it. Stop. Stop.
10 in Siberia began to grow dramatically.
Yeah, that's great.
SCP-2932, Titania's prison, broke open, releasing
That's so cool. It has, like, effects on other SCPs. That's such a cool thing.
multiple hostile entities. And a number of the Foundation's on-site nukes were detonated.
What the?
Eventually, the vaguely humanoid shape of 3812 reappeared inside of the rotating star.
Why a human? I don't get it. What's so special? What's so special about this humans that we keep bringing into the conversation?
And began to have a conversation with itself, recorded by a Foundation deep-sea microphone.
Maybe it's just trying to relate to us. I don't know.
It seems that 3812 has a split personality. And although it's speaking in one voice, it's as if it's a conversation between two entities.
Creepy.
One of these personalities seems to be in control of the ongoing destruction of the planet.
Yay.
We'll call this one A.
Okay.
And the other is much more confused.
That's me.
We'll call this one B.
Okay.
A seems to be destroying this world as vengeance for their creation, saying that their existence
Jeez. Okay, calm down.
is a joke. They were apparently created to be miserable, and so now they are breaking the narrative. B tries to claim that he's not a monster, and he wouldn't kill anyone.
Ooh, it seems like you already done that, though.
But A says that Ben has already turned him into this. Who's Ben, you
Ben?
might ask? Well, that would be the real first name of the author of this and many other SCPs, DJ
Ah.
Cactus. A goes
That's cool. That's very, 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 very cool.
on to say that this person made their existence a game, and so it's going to destroy this reality as punishment, since Ben controls this narrative. Or so he thought. B tries to convince A that this reality no longer really matters to them. Even though it's the one they started from, they are above it now. This story doesn't mean anything to them anymore, and so this so-called punishment is pointless. A seems to be focusing on all of the horror and tragedy of the countless realities, whereas B is more open to the scope and possibilities of their existence.
That's so cool.
B again says that this reality is just one of a trillion grains of sand, and it is not special.
Do you guys believe that as well? Like in our own universe, I guess you should say? I don't know. There's trillions and trillions of like worlds just like this. Just a small grain of sand, you know? Like that's such an interesting concept, and that's why the universe is just such a it's so confusing, and I love it because the possibilities are literally endless, like actually. Like just like how do you have a like how does like the idea of infinity actually is like actually real. Like that's so cool to me. Infinity is like a real thing because there's no stopping point. There can never be a stopping point. I just love it. I love it. But it's also creepy and it freaks me out. And that's why I'm so happy. I'm just a regular little human on this earth, just trying to live.
Special. A seems to now represent the more human side of 3812,
Okay.
haunted by the suffering it has witnessed.
Yeah, fair.
But B is optimistic about their
Yeah.
ability to grow and adapt.
Let's do it.
They will continue to rise and rise until they're above all this. And although it will be lonely, they'll have each other.
I mean, sure. Don't you guys get bored though?
A realizes that we will always be bound by a single narrative, and that is punishment enough.
Why?
They look and see Ben at a keyboard,
It's such a cool thing. Just Ben.
waiting to see what they'll do, and they decide to move on.
So is Ben the thing they can see?
The world was returned to its previous state,
Okay.
and SCP-3812 now hangs over the Pacific Ocean, no longer lashing out in hostility.
Okay, that's nice. Thank you.
Well, that's certainly a lot to take in. And although it would be easy for a story about an infinite god to become ridiculous and over the top,
Is it though? That's so interesting. Why is that so ridiculous or over the top? I don't get it. Am I too dumb to comprehend why this is such a... Is this supposed to be like controversial to talk about or something? Like, this is interesting.
the ending we get is
Why can't there be an SCP like this?
surprisingly sweet. It's important to remember that 3812 started out as a human, which dictates a lot of its actions. It clearly can't handle what it's going through, but
It's kind of actually interesting. You know, I talk about the origins, but it's like, it's just written that way. Wasn't it? Ben or whatever. It's just written that way, you know? I guess it's like the concept of Romeo and Juliet. You have the two families fighting each other, and everyone's like, hey, but like, why are you fighting in the first place? Just stop it, you know? And it's like, the whole point is that it doesn't matter how we started, it's the fact that we got here, you know? And they're still going at each other's throats. Like, literally, they've forgotten the reason as to why they're fighting each other, you know? I like that.
as B says at the end, something they'll never lose from being human is their ability to change.
Wow.
This certainly could have just been a tale about an insane god that wreaks havoc before disappearing in its own insanity. But we're given an interesting meta take on the concept of narratives and those that control them.
If it wasn't human, though, I feel like it would have just been that, you know? Something very meh, something very boring.
3812 might not be everyone's cup of tea.
Wait, why? Is this actually controversial?
But there's little debate that it's one of, if not the most powerful SCP in existence.
I agree. I mean, unless there's another top dog that they keep talking about, you know? Like Ben. I'm understanding that right, though, right? That Ben is just the writer of this, the writer of them, and they written them to be like this. That's like how it works, right? So what's the concept of, like, how's this work? Like, how's this work? Like, then what is the most powerful then? I believe this is most powerful, but at the same time, doesn't that mean there could be technically a more powerful one if you just want it to be that way? I don't know how that's possible, considering the way they're written is clearly supposed to be the most powerful. And honestly, I'm not even mad about that. That's interesting, because they actually have some twist to it to make it interesting. Whoa, okay. Let me read this. Okay. Is there a different one? Oh, it's the same thing. Okay, I'm just gonna read SCP then. I see him. A man at the keyboard. He's watching this right now. What's he doing? Waiting, I think. Waiting to see what we'll do. I think it's time to leave then. Come. The night stretches out before us, and the red sun has set. A voice behind me beckons. Come. I will. Goodbye. What the heck? Ah, this is such an interesting, I want to say story. It wasn't really much of a story, because Exploring series doesn't really have, you know, whatever, story like YouTube videos. I really want to read it though. I love this one. I think it's my favorite SCP. Like, actually, and not because they're the most powerful one. I don't really care about that. It's just the idea of it. It goes into depth of why they're the most powerful one, and I love thinking. I love thinking like things that just don't make sense. Or no, it makes so much sense that it doesn't make sense, you know? I love that. And that's why I love like the idea of the universe in our reality as well, because it makes so much sense that it doesn't. It's such like an insane concept that we humans cannot even fathom the idea of it. And that's why I love this SCP, because it just comes from like that, you know? It comes from that mindset. And then like, I don't know, it's cool. I want to know more about it. Is that possible? Can I do that? Besides, I guess I have to read like more on it. I'll do that, because I actually really like this one like a lot. Also, what was this last one? Come, the night stretches out before us, and the run set. What's the red sun? What does that mean? Is it because the sun's fire? Like what? Like where are they going? You know? Interesting though, Ben. I like that. That was kind of like a plot twist, but it kind of makes sense. I liked it. Man, interesting. I'm clapping. I'm giving a round of applause. I like that one so much. I really did. I'm gonna keep talking about it, but at the same time, I feel like I'm gonna confuse myself because I have so many questions about it, and I just feel like this whole point of this SCP is that the possibilities are endless, and I love that so much. So I feel like if I ask something, you're probably gonna all say yes. Yes, 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 yes. Or maybe no if I don't understand how it works that well. But honestly, it doesn't really seem like it's kind of weird. Like it technically has like it writes its own laws in its own universe, you know, because it can do that. It has the ability to do that. But at the same time, what's stopping Ben from doing the same thing? You know, like it's like there's laws and there's no laws, and it confuses my brain. And it's like, okay, I guess we're just here, we're vibing. I guess that's why people don't like it, you know, because it really is just a blob of just OP-ness. I like it though. That was cool. Let me know down in the comments below if you guys also enjoyed that one as much as I did. I'm obsessed. I'm gonna reading the comments after this. Yeah, like this. A lot of comments about when X or Y be stronger. The answer is no. No times infinity. I love that answer. I don't care. I love it. I really do. I think that's why so many people also don't like One Punch Man. I loved One Punch Man growing up as a kid. I really did. Because it was one of those superheroes. It was taken as like a joke too. So it's not that serious. But at the same time, it's just one of those things where it's like One Punch Man could literally... Okay, this sounds so dumb. I'm not one of those people who are like, oh, but can he be... Like, no, I'm not. But like, I just like the concept of One Punch Man. The fact that his power is literally infinite. And that sounds so dumb. But I love it because it's just... the possibilities. It's so cool. It's so dumb, but I love it. I love it. I love it. Ugh, because it's just infinity, and I love the concept of infinity, and it's so dumb and it's so real, and I hate it. I get passionate about that kind of stuff, so that's why I enjoy this SCP so much. But yeah, that was really interesting. SCP, definitely one of my favorites. It has so much more depth to it too, like the origins, them having human emotions, the idea of being a creator and its inventions, like this whole entire like thing was just so interesting, and I loved it to death. But yeah, I'm gonna end it here though. It's a pretty long video. So yeah. Anyway. Bye, my little demons. Bye-bye. Hello, my little demons. Just before I head out, I just want to give out a big shout out to Timothy Nasu. Thank you so much. I am so happy to have a membership. I am so excited to have this membership open for you guys. And of course, you get really cool perks with this membership for really cheap, such as shout outs, early access to my videos, and of course, updates to my videos, and much more. So if you guys just want to join, you don't have to. It's just to support me and my channel. But thank you so much once again. And a big shout out to all my members right here on the side. And of course, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who subscribed to my channel, membership or not. I'm just so grateful for having great little demons like you guys to join. I'm just love you guys so much. Like and subscribe if you guys want more videos like this. I'm Maroon the Moon, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Okay, bye my little demons. Bye bye.